Welcome to Biomed Explorer. In this video, I'd like to talk about the human lymphatic system. In this video, I'll discuss what the lymphatic system is, what lymph fluid is, and how it moves through your body, the lymph nodes, the major lymphatic organs, and the three main jobs this system does to keep you alive and healthy. So let's get started. What is the lymphatic system? The lymphatic system is one of the most important systems found in the human body. Most people know about the heart and the blood vessels. Most people know about the lungs and the digestive system. But the lymphatic system is something that does not always get the attention it deserves. So what exactly is it? The lymphatic system is a large network of vessels, nodes, organs, and tissues that work together to keep your body balanced and protected. Think of it as a second circulatory system running alongside your blood vessels. It carries a fluid called lymph throughout your body, filters out harmful things, and helps your immune system fight off infection. Without the lymphatic system, your body would swell up with extra fluid, it would struggle to fight off germs, and it would have a hard time absorbing the fats and nutrients you need from food. So as you can tell, this system is doing a lot of important work every single day. What is lymph? Now let's talk about the fluid itself. The fluid that moves through this system is called lymph. And to understand what lymph is, you first need to understand something about your blood. Every day, your heart pumps blood through your blood vessels. As blood moves through the tiny capillaries in your tissues, some of the fluid from the blood leaks out into the spaces between your cells. This leaking fluid carries oxygen, glucose, and nutrients that your cells need. That is how your cells get fed. Now, about 90% of that fluid gets pulled back into the bloodstream on its own, but the remaining 10% does not. It stays behind in your tissues, along with proteins and other materials that are too large to fit back into the blood capillaries. That leftover fluid is picked up by the lymphatic system and becomes lymph. Lymph is a clear, pale yellow fluid. It looks a little bit like water. It contains water, proteins, waste products, and very importantly, it contains white blood cells called lymphocytes. Those lymphocytes are what help your body fight off infection and disease. So lymph starts out as fluid that leaks from your blood, gets picked up by the lymphatic system, gets cleaned and filtered, and eventually gets returned back to your bloodstream. That is the basic journey of lymph. How lymph moves through the body. Now you might be wondering, how does lymph actually move? After all, your blood has the heart pumping it constantly. The lymphatic system does not have a pump like that. So how does the fluid keep moving? Lymph starts its journey in tiny vessels called lymphatic capillaries. These capillaries are found in almost every tissue in your body. They are very small, thin-walled tubes that pick up the excess fluid sitting in your tissues. Once the fluid enters these capillaries, it becomes lymph and begins to flow. From the capillaries, lymph moves into slightly larger vessels called lymphatic vessels. These vessels look and work a lot like veins. They have thin walls and they contain tiny one-way valves inside them. Those valves are very important. They make sure lymph can only travel in one direction, always moving forward, never flowing backward. But what actually pushes the lymph forward? A few things help. When your skeletal muscles contract as you move around, they squeeze the lymphatic vessels and push the fluid along. The pulsing of nearby arteries also helps nudge the fluid forward. And your breathing creates pressure changes in your chest that help keep lymph moving upward toward the heart. So the more you move, the better your lymphatic system works. Exercise is actually very good for keeping lymph flowing properly throughout your body. The lymph nodes. As lymph travels through the lymphatic vessels, it passes through small bean-shaped structures called lymph nodes. These lymph nodes are one of the most important parts of the entire system. Think of a lymph node like a security checkpoint. Before lymph is allowed to continue on its journey back to your bloodstream, it has to pass through these checkpoints first. And inside those checkpoints, immune cells are waiting to inspect what is inside. An adult body has around 400 to 450 lymph nodes scattered throughout the body. They are found in clusters in places like your neck, your armpits, your groin, and deep inside your chest and abdomen. Many of the lymph nodes are located in the abdomen. Each lymph node is packed with lymphocytes, which are the white blood cells that fight infection. When lymph flows into a lymph node, the immune cells inside go to work. They scan the fluid looking for anything dangerous: bacteria, viruses, damaged cells, and other harmful particles. If they find something, they attack it and destroy it right there inside the node. This is why your lymph nodes sometimes swell up when you are sick. When there is an infection, more immune activity is happening inside those nodes. They fill up with immune cells and fluid, and you can actually feel them becoming swollen and tender. You have probably noticed this before in the side of your neck when you had a sore throat. That swelling is your lymph nodes doing their job. After being filtered and cleaned inside the lymph nodes, the lymph continues onto larger vessels and eventually reaches the two main collection points of the entire system, the two main ducts. All of the lymphatic vessels in your body eventually drain into one of two large channels called lymphatic ducts. These two ducts are the final pathway for lymph before it re-enters the bloodstream. The first is called the right lymphatic duct. It collects lymph from the upper right side of your body, the right side of your head and neck, your right arm, and the right side of your chest. It is a fairly short duct, and it empties lymph into a large vein near the right side of your neck. The second is called the thoracic duct. This is by far the larger of the two. The thoracic duct collects lymph from the rest of the entire body: your legs, your abdomen, your pelvis, your left arm, and the left side of your head and chest. It travels all the way up through your chest and empties into a large vein near the left side of your neck. Think of these two ducts like two highway on-ramps. All the lymph from around your body eventually merges onto one of these two on-ramps, and from there, it enters back into the bloodstream. Once lymph rejoins the blood, it can begin its journey all over again. The major lymphatic organs. Now let's talk about the major organs that are part of the lymphatic system. These organs are not just passageways for lymph. They actually produce, develop, and house the immune cells that keep your body protected. First up is the bone marrow. Bone marrow is the soft, spongy tissue found inside your bones. It is where all of your blood cells are made, including the lymphocytes that are the foundation of your immune system. Lymphocytes start their life here in the bone marrow. Some of them fully develop right here and are released into the body. These are called B cells. Their main job is to make antibodies, special proteins that recognize and destroy harmful invaders. Next, you have the thymus. The thymus is a small gland located in your chest just behind your breastbone. It is most active when you are young. This is where a second type of lymphocyte called a T cell goes to mature and develop. T cells are very important because they directly attack and destroy infected or abnormal cells in the body. As you get older, the thymus gradually shrinks and gets replaced by fat tissue, but the T cells it already produced continue to protect you throughout your life. Next, you have the spleen. The spleen is the largest lymphatic organ in your body. It is located in the upper left side of your abdomen, just below your ribs. The spleen works as a filter, but instead of filtering lymph, it filters your blood directly. It removes old, worn-out red blood cells and breaks them down. It also removes bacteria, viruses, and other harmful particles from the blood. In addition to filtering, the spleen also stores extra blood and produces lymphocytes to help fight infection. And finally, you have the tonsils. You have probably heard of tonsils before. They are the two small soft tissue masses in the back of your throat. The tonsils are actually a part of the lymphatic system. They act as a first line of defense against germs that enter your body through your mouth and nose. They trap bacteria and viruses from the air you breathe and the food you eat, and they help trigger an immune response to stop those invaders from going deeper into your body. The three main jobs of the lymphatic system. So now that we have covered all of the parts, let's bring it together. The lymphatic system has three main jobs that it does every single day. The first job is fluid balance. Every day, your body produces more tissue fluid than your blood vessels can absorb on their own. The lymphatic system collects that extra fluid and returns it to the bloodstream. Without this, the extra fluid would build up in your tissues and cause swelling. This type of swelling is actually a condition called lymphedema, and it can happen when part of the lymphatic system is damaged or blocked. So the drainage work that lymphatic vessels do is absolutely essential to keeping your tissues healthy. The second job is immune defense. As you have learned, the lymph nodes and lymphatic organs are home to millions of immune cells. As lymph moves through the system, it gets filtered and checked for anything dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, and other harmful materials get caught and destroyed inside the lymph nodes before they can spread further into your body. This is one of your body's most powerful lines of defense against getting sick. The third job is fat absorption. This one surprises a lot of people. The lymphatic system plays an important role in absorbing fats and fat-soluble vitamins from the food you eat. In the lining of your small intestine, there are tiny lymph capillaries called lacteals. After you eat a meal, fats and fat-soluble vitamins from your food are absorbed by these lacteals. They form a milky white fluid called chyle, which then travels through the lymphatic system and eventually enters your bloodstream. So the lymphatic system is not just protecting you, it is also helping to feed you. Wrapping it up, there you have it. The human lymphatic system, a remarkable network of vessels, nodes, and organs working silently behind the scenes every single day. It collects the extra fluid your blood leaves behind, filters out harmful invaders through the lymph nodes, returns clean fluid back to your bloodstream through the thoracic duct and the right lymphatic duct, and produces the immune cells that protect you from infection. The bone marrow, the thymus, the spleen, and the tonsils all work together as part of this system to keep your body healthy, balanced, and defended. The lymphatic system may not be as famous as the heart or the brain, but without it, your body simply could not survive. Thanks for watching, and Biomed Explorer uploads a new science video every day. Please subscribe and share.